Next, I'm going to give you a short tour of the Google Drive interface. We'll go more in-depth into specific parts in later videos. First, to access Google Drive, you can either type in drive.google.com in your address bar, or you can click on the Drive icon in the Apps Launcher. The Apps Launcher is available at google.com and in Gmail. Starting along the very top, we have our search box, our support icon, which gives on-demand help and training and an ability to give feedback to Google, our settings gear, and the Apps Launcher. Moving down a little bit and back over to the left, we have one of our most important buttons, the plus new button. You'll see options for making folders, uploading files and folders, and creating G Suite files, all of which we'll talk about more in later videos. I do want to point out one little hidden tip here, and that's the right pointing arrow next to the G Suite app names. If you mouse over that button, you'll also see the option to make files from a template or to make blank files. Underneath the plus new button, you'll see priority, which is a way of making customized workspaces, which we'll talk about in our organization video, and My Drive and shared drives, which represent the two types of cloud storage available, which we'll dive into in our next video. The section underneath gives quick access to some different types of files. Shared with me are files shared with you by other individuals. Recent shows recently opened files. Starred is a way of flagging important files, and trash is, well, your trash. In the middle of the screen, I'll quickly point out 4 columns of information. Note that right now, I don't have any file selected. When I do choose a file, we'll have a few options that pop up in the toolbar. We'll dig into each of these options later, and they're all options that are also available by right-clicking on the file name. Looking through the columns, on the left, we have our file names. Folders are always first, but you can use the arrow to flip sorting by alphabetical. In the next column, we see who the file owner is. Next is last modified, which shows when a file was last changed or edited. You can sort by this by clicking the down arrow when you mouse over last modified. We'll talk about this again later, but note that for folders, the last modified date represents when the folder itself was last changed, not the contents inside. In the last column, we have file size. Remember that we have unlimited storage in Drive here at NC State, and you'll note that file size only shows for non-native files, not G Suite apps. Finally, we have 2 sidebar items. First is the View Detail sidebar, which may or may not be showing for you. Mine is currently hidden, but I can show it by clicking the I button right underneath the NC State brick. This shows you information about the file, including who has access and when it was created. In the Activity tab, you can see who made changes and when. To close this View Details window, you can click the I button again or the X. Lastly, you may be familiar with the Quick Access side panel from other G Suite apps or from Gmail. This gives you quick access to some other G Suite apps without having to leave your window. If you'd like to open the side panel, click the right arrow at the bottom of your screen. To collapse, click the arrow again. Now that you know the Drive interface, we'll start digging into how Drive works. Keep watching for more videos on getting the most out of Google Drive. If you have questions, use the IT service portal at help.ncsu.edu and check out all of our G Suite classes at go.ncsu.edu/learnit.